She didn't know about the other one.
Like this one was a remake.
West Coast, nigga.
6 foot, baby. Big dog in the house tonight.
Mad dope. But yeah, man, MadStrange Podcast. Today we got Dezzy Hollow with us, man. Just finished the album, Bishop Snow. Bro, the album is done. It's submitted. How you feeling?
Oh man, I feel a lot of relief. Finally putting out the album after spending so much hard work on it and so much time. I think it's been 2 years since my last project, but I have been releasing singles. But for the most part, like a body of work is my favorite thing to put out because it shows like your versatility.
How does that process start? Because you released like 3 or 4 singles since Can You Handle the Funk? At what point do you say, okay, now I need to go into album mode? And what's actually going to be on the album from the singles that you put out?
Well, so a lot of the singles, I released quite a few singles, but a lot of them were planned to be on the project. But as I'm always recording. So as I was releasing them, I was also recording new music. So then it transitioned to where a lot of the new music I replaced those singles for on the project. So a lot of my project, most of it is brand new.
That's dope, man. How many songs do you think that you recorded, like including the singles? Not all the songs that made it to the album, but how many songs did you like in between 2020 from Can You Handle the Funk to One Nation Under the Funk?
Probably around, probably around anywhere from 60 to 70 songs.
That's a good number.
Yeah.
That's a good number.
And then from there, how many did you pick to be on the album?
Of course, 15. But man, I a lot of the songs, like when I record them, I don't know if they're gonna be good or not. So it's like, fuck it. I don't know if I can cuss, but it's just like, let me just finish the song out, and if it's not good, then I can just record another one. But I think that continuously recording and being in the studio is important because you never know when you're gonna write a song that's gonna catch the ears of a lot of people. Yeah. So, but yeah, so my project is releasing on the 15th.
That's Friday.
That's
April
Friday.
15th.
And then the day after that, I have the show with DJ Quick, the hop competition show in the cookie store.
Yeah, that's gonna be dope.
So I'm excited for that, and I'm hoping to have DJ Quick on my next album.
Yeah, that'd be really dope. And you've heard the album, right?
I've heard some of it. So
what you think?
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's really good. I think it's a good contribution to the city, and not only that, but the culture as a whole. You know what I mean? So, I feel like the West Coast still got a lot of noise to make, and especially with the G-Funk sound. I mean, as a whole, you know what I mean? Like I said, De La, like I went up there and paid him a visit recently as well. And that's a very, very talented producer. So yeah, that's the boy. He knows how to, you give him a reference on what you want, and he's cooking it up. So that is a very, very talented producer, straight up. Shout out MadStrange for hooking that up for me. You know what I mean? That was a blessing in itself. But back to Dezzy's project, like I said, I feel like it contributes as a whole to the culture, and that's what we need.
Yeah, man. Going into summer too, bro. Like, can you tell us about some of the people you got on the album, like some of the features?
Depending on when this podcast release, I wanted it to kind of be a surprise, but I'm releasing the track list anyway. I have the first person I added to it was Dub C, of course, for the bounce, and then I added Sugar Free,
which people already knew because of
that's the snippet I put at the end of bounce, and then after that I added Little Rob, and
so it's a new song with Lil Rob.
A new song with Little Rob. And then that same song I added Baby Bash. So that one I'm hoping it does what I think it's gonna do. Yeah. It's kind of like not a love song, but it's a slower song.
Right. When I heard it, I was like, oh yeah, I see this on the radio, and I see people requesting this song on the radio. At least that was like my initial reaction the first time I heard it.
I'll probably end up playing it for you guys, but how that thing came about, working with Little Rob and Baby Bash on the song, pretty much me and Little Rob, I I would say a pretty close relationship. Cool cat, man, super solid, and we kept close after the shoot of I Got Love that I did with him when I brought him to the city. Pretty much he came I think that same weekend, he spent the night, so then I brought him to the studio and we recorded to this song called Shorty.
The very next day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe the same night. So I pulled the song up. I showed him, I was in the studio playing him all my shit, you know, and I was willing to take off verses to put him on it, you know. But I played him that one and it had a verse and then the hooks, the shorty, and me soup you in the morning. I had that already on there. And then I put Lil Rob on there, and then I was like, damn, it would be dope to have Baby Bash on there because it kind of almost sounds like his song called Shorty Doo Wop. So then we sent it to Baby Bash, and because Lil Rob was on tour with Baby Bash, so they were together already, you know. I think they were doing a video shoot with Kid Frost in Vegas or something. So he shot him the song, and then he recorded it.
That's crazy, bro. That's dope. I think, you know what's dope, because I was with you guys that day, and you guys were hella exhausted. Like when I pulled up after you guys had done filming, even he was exhausted. And I remember like we shot a podcast that day, and these dudes had like the craziest like sunburn. Like when they took off their hats, it was like 2 different shades. And but when we finished, I remember it was late, and Dezzy was like trying to get Lil Rob and Ryan Anthony to go to the studio with them. Yeah. After filming that video, he was just like, man, he was trying to come here. He was just trying to, and so it also shows you the work ethic, man, that they had been up early, filmed the whole video. Yeah. And then this dude was more like, man, I got them both here.
Whenever I have artists, I think about, all right, so how am I going to get them to this studio?
Yeah. He went and got them food, everything. He was like, man, you're fed. Yeah. Let's go record.
Yeah. So then we recorded that song, you know, and it was more so like not really pressuring them, but more so like being, what do you call that? Persistent. Yeah. But that I found out that like being very persistent has like opened the doors to a lot of things for me, because I don't like to bug people, but I am very persistent when there's like things I know would work out, you know.
But it's also, you already got the songs ready.
Right.
So it's like you're just playing them songs like, yo, I got this one, I got this one, I got this one.
That's what I'm saying. Like I know something would work out, so I'm going to be very persistent on that until it happens.
Yeah. No, that's dope. So, no, man, I think that song, yeah, the moment I heard it, I was just like, oh, I hear people. I can see people requesting this one.
Hey, but my prized song is the Sugar Free one. That one was like, oh man, I got Sugar Free on the record. I've studied a lot of Sugar Free, and on this project I have a couple of flows that are influenced by him. But to actually have him on a record was like crazy, because I got to produce the song. Like, you know, I produced that song. Right. I made the beat one day, and then I recorded like the idea, and then I reached out to his management, and then I shot him the song, and it was a done deal.
That's dope, bro, because I even think about like seeing how much love, like if you read the comments from the Bounce video, and at the end of the snippet, everyone's like, yo, is that Sugar Free? And like people were like, the reaction to that has been like very positive, but it's also because like, obviously, like you listen to your music, we can tell that you've been influenced. You know what I mean, by him, and so that's a dope. That's
a lot of people were already like having that comparison. So, 2 people that I wanted to get on my project that I would be really great for gossip. Yeah. I wanted to have with Sugar Free and Busy Bone, because people compare me to those 2 people the most. Sugar Free and Busy Bone. Right. But I didn't end up getting Busy Bone, but I did get Sugar Free on the project.
You've met Lazy Bone, right? Or who
Lazy Bone, yeah.
Yeah, you met Lazy Bone, yeah. Yeah, but I see that.
Yeah.
But that DJ Quick would be like.
Yeah, so hopefully I can make that happen. I think it's possible, and I'm almost there, you know. So it's gonna happen actually. Yeah. I don't know what I'm talking about.
It's gonna happen. Yeah. Man, if you could do a record, like, cause now like I was thinking about, you had posted something this week. And you're right there on the corner of Mission, El Camino Real, and then you did something too on that in the alley where you filmed the EBT Boy right there on El Camino Real, and I was just like, man, that was that the Soul Food project? What project was that? That was EBT Boy.
Oh no, that was Stay Current.
That was Stay Current, but like from that moment to now, and the artists that you're working with, bro, it's just like the evolution, but also like I know you're very hard on yourself because it's like you have certain levels of expectation and you're always working. But man, you should like take a moment to like just pause and reflect, bro, and like be proud of how far you've come. But also like the names that you're working with now that like, man, I know you're always working. I know you're probably gonna leave here and already gonna be thinking about like, okay, what's next? What's the next video? How can I market this album? But at the same time, man, like appreciate like what you just accomplished. You know what I mean?
I think the night of releasing the project, I feel like not even checking social media or being online usually when I release a project, but it's like you have to interact. Like those are the most crucial hours, you know, of releasing anything, you know, like any content, or the first couple hours. But for me, it's like I like to just like not even like see all that, you know, because it's like, I don't know, like when you spend so much time on something, you get very passionate about it, so that makes you a little bit touchy about it, you know. So I just want to put it out, and if people like it, they don't. If they do, they do, you know, because I put out quite a lot of content, and not everything has been taken like very well, like how I thought it would go. So just keep trying.
Man, this body of work, sometimes too, man, like a lot of stuff you put out is like has been very dope. People just maybe haven't seen it yet. So like even with this body of work, people will go back and look at the portfolio and just be able to see like, damn, man, this dude's diverse as far as like his content. You know what I mean? It's like you have something for almost everyone. And so I told you that, I forgot what song you had put out, and it was like you weren't so happy with it. And I was like, bro, it's doing well. But then you dropped I Got Love with Little Rob, and I saw like a lot of your other like projects start getting a lot more attention. And it wasn't that it wasn't dope, because it was dope. It was just that maybe some people didn't see it. And once they saw it, they were like, oh, I actually like this one better, or I like that one better, or like, damn, it's all dope.
I think putting out like a lot of content, like, of course it has to be like quality, but I think having so much content out, it just, that's like your, what would you call that? Like that's like your baby, you know, because like people listen to your content, and that's you know, like that's different portions of your life. So like if you listen to all my projects, you'll see how I was before this. Like right now, I'm not gonna lie, man, this project is very fun. It's very, very it's very like, not careless, but it's very at a point where in my career where it's like, let's have some fun, because I've been so serious for so long. But you'll be able to feel it once you hear the project, and it brings back that real nostalgic, like Snoop Dogg, like that Chronic, Dr. Dre type vibe, where it was very like West Coast and turned up, you know. So I try to get a little bit of influence from that, and then some, you know, 70s, 80s funk, and just mash it together.
I think it's coming out during the perfect time too, because this is going to be definitely an album that's going to live with us throughout the summer. You know what I mean?
I'm hoping that it's one of those projects where you play it, and then like people that are living in this time, like years later, they're gonna remember this era, this particular time in history. You know? So hopefully it does that. You know, like Chronic 2001, like it just has that feel. You know?
For sure.
But I hope that I can make such an impact, you know, with this project.
Question for you, bro. Like hearing them talk about like working with Sugar Free. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's a big influence. If you could work with somebody, like who's your Sugar Free? If it's not Sugar Free.
Shit, I think everybody I want to work with or look up to is dead. Not to be like, you know what I'm saying, morbid about it, but I feel like, you know, Pac and Nip, two that I definitely look up to a lot. That influenced me a lot. You know, I would say Game, Dre, Snoop, certain aspects of a lot of artists, you know. I listen to a lot of artists, but I feel like I kind of like pick what I can, you know, and depending on the style I'm approaching too. You know, one thing that I'm trying to approach right now is like gangster rap as a whole. Early 2000s gangster rap, whether, you know, as a stretch. I listened to a lot of King T recently. I listened to a lot of, you know, like I said, the documentary. I have on replay a lot of Exhibit too. You know, I don't know. I kind of just feel like, and I feel like the content that I try and spit about too, depending on the song, depending on what the, you know, the content or the you know, what the song is about. I feel like, you know, it depends. It varies, you know, because I try and speak about my own experiences, but I try and, you know, be as real as I can too. You know, we're having a reason. Sometimes I talk shit. Sometimes I just kind of go off the top of my head and say what I feel at the time, which probably isn't best at times, but I kind of just say what I feel, say what's going through my head, what I'm going through at the time. But like I said, probably like Pac and Nip, definitely, I would say. Like I said, they're just whole approach to the game. That's kind of what I relate to most. But those are the two that I would look up to.
Yeah, what did I tell you, man? When I heard Lord Forgive Me, I was like, I felt like I was listening to like it felt like Raekwon, Nas, an East Coast vibe, but with like West Coast mannerisms.
Yeah,
you know
that's exactly what you told me. Yeah. And that actually meant a lot to me too, because East Coast hip hop is something that's really big for me. Like to this day, I'll tell people, like, people ask me about hip hop. Illmatic is the greatest rap album of all time, in my opinion. And I feel like there's a lot of good hip hop that comes from not only the West Coast, but from other places too. Doggy Style is one of my favorites. The Chronic is one of my favorites. All Eyes on Me is one of my favorites. You know, like, there's a big range of albums, but there's a lot of East Coast stuff and stuff that comes from other places. Like, what a lot of people don't know is like Infinite. I was listening to Infinite last night by Eminem. That's one of the greatest rap songs I've ever heard. Like I said, NY State of Mind, Represent, you know, a lot of stuff off Illmatic I listen to. The Wu-Tang, like anything Wu-Tang, I'm trying to really like dig into it. Mobb Deep, like there's a vibe that I get from East Coast. Like when I started freestyling, when I really started rapping, that was like what I was really on, you know, even like necro beats, like deep underground beats, you know, or when I first heard like Immortal Technique, like, you know, when I was like 16, when I was like listening to Immortal and really, you know, digging into what he was talking about, it was kind of like, damn, like, all right, this is what I like. But then I try and switch it up because I am from the West Coast. You know, I'm from California. So I just try and have that style to it too. But I try and be as lyrical as I can, I guess. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I try and switch it up. But then I'm like...
But that makes sense. Like you said, documentary, like Game is like that. You know, he's a big hip hop head.
Yeah.
But he's from the West Coast.
Yeah, exactly.
So like you get like the person who he is, you know what I'm saying? And so it's like, and that Wu-Tang, I felt like when I was growing up, man, like a lot of the skaters listen to like Wu-Tang. I know you mentioned last time, man, that you used to skate, bro. So
man,
like,
West Coast hip hop as a whole, or East Coast hip hop as a whole. So like, you know, like I said, Pun, Big L.
And I'm not saying like skaters listen to, I'm just saying out here.
Yeah.
Like a lot of East Coast, a lot of East Coast music doesn't, like, you're not gonna hear like probably the same people that Wu-Tang touched out in Staten Island, New York, is different who is touching all the way out here on the
has
West
a heavy
Coast.
influence. It does have a heavy influence. You're completely right about that, and I agree. Like I said, I'm trying to think of who else. I mean, it, as a whole, like East Coast hip hop really did have an influence on us in the skating industry and just like as a whole. But there are a lot of East Coast rappers that did have a big influence on my life and the way that I rap. But like I said, I'm from the West. Like if you listen to Lord Forgive Me, you know, you kind of get that vibe. But then Mission Ave, I kind of switched it up completely. You know, I went the G-Funk route. I remember Dezzy telling me like get on it, and I was like, all right, cool.
What did he say to you exactly?
Yeah, I remember I was showing him some Lord Forgive Me, and he was just like, you need to get on this G-Funk, man. He's like, this is where it's at. And then, you know, I ended up running across a producer from Spain named Lonzo, and the way that he did his beats and every little thing about his beats was so like West Coast to the T, and I was just like, wait a second, like this is tough. And you know, I felt like I was listening, like I said, to a King T beat or like an Ice Cube beat or something around like, you know, something around like Dr. Dre type stuff. And I was just like, all right, cool. This is something I can really tell a story on. This is something I can really like kind of go harder on, and you know, kind of have my, you know, West Coast kind of feel to it. But it was looser. It was definitely looser. I was able to, you know, kind of say some things and like kind of talk a little.
You can have a little bit more fun. You felt like
talk a little shit.
You mentioned that, bro. Like the longevity of your career, as far as all the projects. This is like number 10, project number 9, something like that.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
But even like how your music has evolved, like from, like you said, Stay Current, Fireside, all of those to like Can You Handle the Funk, One Nation Under Funk, like. How did obviously you've grown as a man, a lot of things have happened in life, but it's like, how do you evolve as an artist, like to where you're at now? Because you said like, man, like right now this is a fun album, but even that process, like Lord Forgive Me, Mission Ave are two But you're, you know what I mean? You can't be boxed in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not just like this one thing. You know what I mean? And so it's like, that's what I said about the portfolio, like all your different projects. It's like, this is who Dezzy is. He's not just, serious, or he's just not like this. He's just not that.
I like to have fun too, when I can, and write about it. But for me, the hardest part was making something that was fun and also lyrical. Yeah. Because I'm a lyrical artist. So trying to do like not party music, but like backyard boogie music or club music is difficult for me. It's not like firsthand for me. Right. So learning that and trying to put that into my project where it was mashed with elements of funk and backyard boogie type vibes, it was like a lot of learning. It was a learning process. But I think that the most important part is like adapting and figuring out what you're capable of. Because recording this project, like you'll be able to tell that I was a lot more like, I hit a lot more ranges than I did in any other project. Like I touched so many different flows and different styles on this project that you could tell that like I really put the time in to study it and figure it out.
And that was intentional. So like let's say you did this song, you're like, okay, this song for sure is on the album, but it shows this.
I'll tell you one thing, that there's not one song on the album that sounds the same. Like the whole shit sounds from the beginning to the end, like the vibes just are totally different throughout the whole project. There's not one song that sounds the same. Not the flow, not the cadence, not the beat. It's like I just got to be as creative as I could and show my versatility on this project. So I'm happy for it.
No, that's dope. Are you excited about like now the other side, like before we were talking about like, yeah, the album's done, it's been turned in, but now can you talk a little bit about the work that goes into like now making sure that, people get to hear the album as far as like all the work after it drops, like that you guys have to do that people don't know. They think like, okay, you finished the album's done. It's all done, but it's not, right? This is only like half of it. Like now you guys got to like.
The first half is creating something good. The second half of what you have to do is properly promote it and push it. Yeah. I think that my team is gonna go super super hard on the TikToks and the reels and YouTube, just everywhere. Because it's mandatory. For me, it's kind of like. I was in, I've been doing this since it was CDs, so I'm used to that whole interaction thing, human interaction. So this whole internet thing is like, it's kind of like, I guess, new to me, but I'm still like catching on to it. So I know my team's gonna go crazy on social media.
Yeah, because that's the other part, right? I mean, you can have something very dope, but if people don't hear it, see it,
like, right? Because there's a lot of songs that I've found on the internet that are super dope, but don't really have that many views, Yeah. It's like the proper promotion is important.
Yeah, that's huge, man, having that team. I think you mentioned some albums too, bro. Like you said, one of your favorite albums, Doggy Style, Illmatic, Chronic. Those were like projects. Yeah. No, but I was saying like Doggy Style and Chronic, man, like you mentioned those two. I mean, obviously those are like iconic albums, but that wasn't just like Snoop working on Doggy Style. You know what I'm saying? That was Daz, Corrupt, exactly. Warren G, Nate Dogg. Everybody had come together. It was a collective. And you ended up getting this masterpiece. Same thing with the Chronic. You know what I mean? And like with this album, I feel like you've been working on it for 2 years, but at the same time, I know you've shared it, got feedback, gotten back, re-recorded. Like I'm sure there were certain songs that you thought, okay, at one point, man, this is gonna make the album. And now it's one of the 60 that didn't.
A lot of the songs, like I said, that I released as singles, I wanted to put on the album, but they didn't age well. And that was like perfect sign that they weren't gonna make it on the project. So I had to re-record like a bunch of songs. But it's done, and I'm really happy it's gonna drop because I think that the style and the sound is like one of a kind. For sure. A lot of melodic tones and different patterns of the flows. But
what do you think about that, man? Hearing like this dude did like 75, 60 songs, you know what I'm saying, for a project, like, and you as an artist, like, like thinking like, damn, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of time, bro. And money.
Yeah, no, it got to the point where I would only record the skeleton of the song. So I would do hook, first verse, hook, and then that's it. And if that wasn't good, I would play it to a couple people, probably mix it a little bit. And if that wasn't good, I would trash it and then move on to the next idea. But it got to the point where I was doing that because I was recording full songs. Like I have a bunch of different songs that I didn't release, but it got to that point where I was just like, why am I going to waste my time if it's not going to be a good song? So I just been doing like the skeleton, and you could tell a lot if the song's going to be good or not by just that.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's it just gives me a different perspective on how to approach things too. Definitely. You know, I'm still learning certain things on how to, you know, approach certain ways of making a project. You know, just as writing music in general. You know, how to switch it up too. So, I mean, that's definitely I feel like it's good advice, and it's just, you know, inspiring. It's where I need to be. So
that's one thing about this dude, man. I've been with this dude like when we do these podcasts. Yeah. And depending on who's on here, he'll be like, "Hey man, let's get a studio session in." Like this dude's always trying to like get people to record, and it's late sometimes. I'm like, "All right, man, I'm out." But he'll be like, "Man, let's not."
I write a lot. I write a lot. Like I write every day, but it just kind of just depends on the availability and stuff like that. Because you know I'm paying for studio time, and I'm just trying to work it in the schedule too. But I mean, shit, I got, you know what I'm saying, 200 notes. You know what I'm saying, just straight up, just. I mean, if you look at my phone, it's literally just note after note after note after note. You know, there's 263 notes on just untitled. That's dope. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I write, but it's just a matter of getting it to where like, you know, if I feel like it's gonna come out, or if I do record it, if I get the chance to record it, you know, like I said, like I'll kind of do the same thing, like as far as the skeleton of the song, and kind of just like. You know, or I'll go to a studio session with like a group of songs that I know I can record, you know, and just kind of weed out what I do or don't like. So as far as the writing process is there, you know, whether it's a whole song or whether I'm just practicing writing verses, you know, just seeing what I can switch up on subject matter or wordplay or whatever I could say.
Where do you see this going, man? Like now that you've like, one, I got two questions for you.
Yeah.
Like, cause I just started seeing, like we connected maybe like a couple months ago. But how'd you connect with MadStrange in itself? Like, how'd you end up connecting with Andres, Daniel, and Dezzy?
So Andres and Daniel, I didn't meet Daniel till a little later. So Andres, I ended up meeting, I think at an event at a brewery. I think we went to an event in like what's that area called, like Oceana maybe, I think, up by Rancho Doloro. So we went to like a brewery up there, and then it was just some event, and Dezzy was there, Andres was there, and I don't know if Daniel was there, but I ended up just connecting with Andres, and then he told me to come to the shop, and then I ended up stopping by MadStrange when it was on El Camino Real on Oceanside Boulevard, and he gave me a free shirt. Yeah, this was 2017, 2017 maybe. But yeah, so I ended up going to the shop, and I grabbed the Oceanside shirt with the Mexican flag in it, and so that was like my go-to. So that was like my go-to shirt for a while, because I was, you know, I love that shirt. But yeah, that was my first interaction with MadStrange. I didn't really go around too much. So Dezzy actually did we meet when I was younger through Duran, or was it later on?
Yeah, so I know his older brother.
Yeah, through like Mid Valley days, like early.
Did you know who he was though? Like, even though you knew his older brother or not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this was like years of like interaction, but it was kind of just like, you know, through passing, and then we would see each other. So yeah, and then I kind of lost contact with everybody too. I mean, my brother was away for 10 years, so it was kind of like a while. But then we ended up discussing it not that long ago, and it was like, okay, that made sense how we met. But yeah, so. Yeah, I was just blessed enough with the opportunity to be able to hang out with them and be around them for a little bit, and then I remember we were at my homie Mike's party, and Andres came through, and I remember just kind of like just drunk talk, just trying to talk to Andres and be like, yo, like when you gonna like let me model for you and like, you know what I'm saying, come around a little more. And he was like, you know, start coming around. So I did, and then, you know, I started doing the modeling thing, and then we started discussing music, because, you know, I had music videos out, but I didn't really like. I didn't have a project out. I didn't have anything like that. I didn't have, you know, any type of plan. And then Andreas kind of helped me with that. kind of helped me get the the layout of it. And then I ended up being around Dezzy more. And then the more music I dropped, the more Dezzy would give me advice on like little things and just how to kind of switch it up and be more productive too, and just make it so that way I could just get this out, And then Andreas and Daniel would give me a lot of perspective and like advice on the business aspect of it too. They're very, very knowledgeable with that. So they made sure that they let me know what can potentially work and what can't work, and how can I push this farther.
So now that like you've connected with them, you got Dezzy in your corner and all that. Like where do you see this going?
Man, I want to take it as far as I can. I want to be one of the best. I want to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm trying to do these shows and I'm trying to release songs and record songs, and ultimately work with MadStrange so that way I can learn as much as I can with this. I want to push it as far as it can go, and even past that, I want to break barriers. I want to be one of the best. So, whatever lane that means I gotta go as far as like finding my niche is what style fits best for me, or even if I gotta have a broad range of styles, but I want to take it as far as it can go. I don't want to, like I said, it's not so much of the funds for me. It's just that I love to do it, and it's my outlet. It's my go-to. Like that's really how I like get away from certain things. That's how I handle a lot of stuff. Is writing music now compared to the way that I used to, handle things. So, yeah, that's I want to take it past any limit. I want to do, what I can for the city, and for my circle, for my team, and I want to, put this out there that Oceanside's got something to say, and I feel like Dezzy's definitely, he's paved the way for that, definitely for a lot of us, and I want to contribute to that as much as I can, but I want to let them know, I want to let the world know where the city is.
This year, bro, like you brought Dub C out here, you brought Little Rob out here, you know what I mean? Like that was like that in itself was like, yeah, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like you talking about this era and people remembering this era, like those moments in itself is like your music, your work ethic, like the brand that you've established, you know what I mean? And what MadStrange has done, like, yeah, man, it made that happen. Them dudes ain't coming out here just because, you know what I'm saying? So that's been like, that all happened in between two projects. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
but man, between that Can't Handle the Funk and now, like, bro, I've been moving. I've been doing so much. I've been doing a lot. And I think after I drop this project, there's going to be a lot of eyes on Oceanside. Yeah. So it's going to be good for a lot of Oceanside artists to drop music with me.
But even like this year, man, you did the Padres game, right? You got to ring the bell at the Padres game.
Yeah, I got to do the Padres.
You did a Lowrider show in Vegas. And then who performed? Sugar Free performed on that.
Sugar Free and Warren G. Got to link with them, which was a good time, of course, man.
Warren G's another one, bro, that I would love for you to work with, bro.
Yes, no. When I met him, like exactly what I told him was one day I'm gonna be able to work with you. But it was just crazy meeting him because like he's.
What did he say to that?
He was like, "Oh yeah, no, for sure, for sure." But what else can he say? What I'm saying? Like, I have a feeling that like I'm gonna cross paths with him again, and something's gonna happen. I'm pretty sure on this next project I'm gonna have Quick on this next project, bro.
That would be like,
it's gonna happen.
To me, Quick is like one of the most underrated, and he's not underrated to us, but I'm saying like on a national level, like Quick is, to me is like one of the most underrated rappers, man.
Safe
like,
and Sound. I was listening to Safe and Sound the other day, man, and like
rappers and producers.
Man, crazy. His production is crazy, even as like a whole. Like I said, like yeah, Safe and Sound was one of my favorite albums coming up as a youngster. Just that whole album is tough. So,
but yeah, man, you linked up with MadStrange. You met Daniel first, and then you met Andres. Did they already have the store then, or they didn't have a store yet when you linked up with MadStrange? Because you said El Camino Real.
Yeah, El Camino.
Did they have that right next to Shores? Yeah. Yeah. Did they have that store yet or no?
The one next to Shores?
Yeah. When you first linked up.
No.
So you were with them before any store.
I was with them since your garage.
No, I know, man, but like
since your garage. I put up to this guy's garage right here one day, and I didn't know what to expect, but all I see is like smoke coming out of like he opens the door and there's smoke and it's pitch black in there. So I go in there.
It was a smoke machine.
I didn't know what was going on, so I went up in there, and then there was like a cipher going on, and then I ended up getting the MadStrange ended up giving me some.
Do you remember the first? Do you remember the first?
They gave me a shirt. I remember.
Which one was it?
I remember. I think I have that shirt somewhere in my house, but yeah, I introduced myself to them, and then they gave me a shirt, and then we did like the cipher, and then I left, and from that day, like we just started working. Like I don't even remember how like after that day, like I don't even remember the next like. That's
what I'm saying. They didn't have a store yet, so it's not like you pulled up to the store. Like they just called you. Or?
I can't remember. We just started shooting a lot. Like we started spending more and more time together. It was me and Daniel.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of time together. A lot, like shooting.
Yeah.
But like my shooting was different back then. It was kind of like pull up to like places we can't shoot and just let's shoot it one take and then let's dip. So that's how it was before.
Just a two-man team.
Yeah, like I did that all the time, bro. Like all the time. Like even construction sites, we would go up in there, shoot, and then dip. And that's how it was. You know, that's how like I started releasing so many like. That's how I had so much like stuff to release. Yeah. And then that, of course, the consistency got me a fan base.
What was the first project you released with MadStrange? Do you remember, like the name of the project?
Oh, it was the Soul Food project.
That was the first one?
Yeah. But before that, I had like a bunch of mixtapes.
Yeah, you had. Yeah.
I had to take them down. They were disgusting me.
What do you? Is that what you think about when you go back and listen to it?
No. When I go back and listen to them, I just think about how like I was still like immature and finding my sound.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, it's like, man, I wouldn't want to listen to it. I wouldn't want to listen to it. It's crazy, man. I'm talking about crazy things.
Yeah. But the Soul Food, I mean, everything after Soul Food though is like.
Everything after Soul Food, things just got like more serious. Like they started to get really serious. Like the production and the releases were starting to get planned out.
It was professional.
Right. Before it was just like, oh, let's just shoot real quick and just put it out. And now it's like everything's timed and everything's, you know, you got to consider, oh, you want to release a project when? You got to figure out, you know, what's going on in that month, you know, what's going to, like, is it a good time to release that project? It's the same with the music, you know, like the singles. Everything became like a timing thing.
Yeah. That's what I know is being around them, bro. Like, they'll film something and then, like, I'll hear them say, like, oh, yeah, that's going to get released on September, 13th, whatever. But this is like, you know, August, and they're like.
But sometimes we really be feeling some shit, and we're like, all right, drop it. And like we'll literally film something, go back to the shop, edit it, and then we'll just release it. We've done that several times.
Yeah,
several times. It's just the feeling, man. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you have that feeling, that urge.
Can you tell us what the first video is gonna be? Like the first single
of this project?
Yeah.
Was the song that we just played, the roll through.
Yeah.
And right now I'm just putting it together, but as of right now it's looking like I'm gonna be shooting it, you know, in a week.
Yeah. With
some cars and you're
gonna need a lot of cars for that video.
Excuse me. Yeah, I'm gonna get a couple get some cars out there and some.
Cool people. Thing is, man, like the car clubs in Oceanside or in North County really show you love, man. Like seeing you film videos and them being there, you can tell like not only like they have love and respect for you, but man, they're fans of your music.
Yeah, a lot of the lowrider community out here, they are very supportive. So I'm in their corner too. Whatever they need, I'm here for them. But no, Oceanside for the most part, man, is home of the Lolos.
Yeah, fact.
Home of the Lolos for sure. And I think this project really captures like. The aspect of the lowriders and in the kind of like the street type of culture of Oceanside, and it also has that whole feeling of like kind of pimpish, kind of like boasting a little bit, but it's a fun project.
You're having fun, yeah. You're having fun.
But toward the end, it kind of gets a little bit more serious. Got a couple tracks toward the end that are a little bit more personal. But starting the project off, we having fun.
Yeah,
for sure. For sure.
I'm looking forward to it, man. Yeah. Next Friday, April 15th. Real quick, man, you have a performance coming up. You're doing something for the community, right? Tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow, Saturday.
Yeah.
So that's going to be for a scholarship fundraiser. So that's actually for the youth. So yeah, it's, people are paying for entry, of course, and then they're going to have like They're gonna be doing tattoos. They're gonna have vendors, and then at the end of the night,
this is on the deep too, right? It's like at Jay's Board Shop.
At Jay's Board Shop,
right by Popeyes.
Yeah, right by Popeyes, next to Pizza Hut. So I don't know what the setup's gonna be. So today was day one, but I was actually busy all day, so I didn't go see like the setup or what was going on. But it's gonna be dope. So the performances are gonna be at night. I'm gonna be headlining, so I'm last performer. I'm like, yeah. I've been preparing all week for it. Just like it's funny because I spent 3 hours the other morning at the Flying Bridge. So like like how the bike trail right there where the green bridge is. I was just sitting up on the bridge just thinking, and then I was like, starting to get the performance versions and finding the beats and stuff for those, and I just sat up there for like 2 hours after that. And
do you get nervous thinking about it? Because I know when you had that show in Vegas, you were telling me, like, I think off camera, you were like, bro, I'm thinking about how my performance, I'm practicing, and it's not until like I'm done performing that you just like, okay, now I can just chill. Do you be feeling like that? Like,
the preparation is definitely there. So in the beginning, so I think I had my first performance like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And it was at Jay's Board Shop, actually, my first performance. It was actually like a mix in with my homie Hugo's set. So like I performed Cradle to the Grave. With like, it was my first performance, so I did that, and then I think next I did Industry Takeover in Dago, opening up for Lazy Bone. The same thing. So I did a song in Hugo set, and then I did one at another venue in San Diego, and then I had G-Funk Fest. So that was like 3 of my songs, and then Andreas kind of was like, yo, you need performance versions, and I'm over here like, what's that? And then he was basically explaining it to me like, okay, you drop the verse, you keep your ad-libs, you keep the chorus, so that way you have some time to breathe. I was like, all right, cool, like, for sure. So I was nervous as hell going in there to G-Funk Fest. I was like, I didn't practice this. I'm just spitting what I know, and I messed up, I think, on Still the G Thing, which was the first song. So it was G-Funk Fest, and I just did Mission Ave. I think I wrote Mission Ave. When I got G-Funk Fest, it was like 2 weeks before like I saw the lineup, and it got released that me and Dezzy were gonna both be in it. And then I was hyped, and I was like, shit, like I don't really have nothing like G-Funk, like nothing G-Funk out, like Lord Forgive Me was a completely different sound. I'm not just gonna perform Cradle to the Grave and Dip. Right. So I wrote Mission Ave in like 3 days. I think I just wrote it. I found the Lonzo beats I liked. I wrote it. Went to the homie Cut It Up Carter's pad and just laid him down, and then just did that. And then me and Juancho had actually had a photo shoot from before when we were doing the release for my Lord Forgive Me t-shirt with MadStrange, and then he sent me the film photos back, and I saw the cover for Mission Ave, and I was like, that's it. I was like, straight up. And then I couldn't think of a title, and then I was just like, I just kept it simple, something significant to the city. What's the main street that runs through the city? So I was just like, all right, cool. I'm gonna name it Mission Ave. The cover art, and then I didn't have time to do more songs. I wanted to do 6 songs on Mission Ave, but it only came down to 4. And then that was kind of a stressful time, and then I released it the day before G-Funk Fest.
So there's just a lot going into the performance.
Bro, that was one of the most stressful.
This dude always manages to take his shirt off though when he performs. You gonna take your shirt off during the fundraiser for the kids, bro?
No. It was hot, man. Bro, it was hot, man.
I've been working out so I could take mine off, man.
Everybody else was in hoodies and beanies.
Yeah, bro. That
shirt.
warehouse was man, that shit was way too hot, and I wasn't gonna do it, and then I was like,
today was like 90 degrees and you're wearing a hoodie.
Yeah, man.
It'd be like 40 degrees outside. You take your shirt off.
I was wearing a tank top earlier though. I'm not gonna lie. I started the day off in a tank top. I had to because it was just too damn hot. But even the tank like tank tops get too hot because it's just like
because it's too.
I can't do that. Bro, I start sweating them and I'm like,
tank tops get too hot.
But yeah, so
I be seeing pictures, dog, and like all his homies be in the hoodies, beanies, like you can see them breathing. This dude has his shirt on.
Yeah. I'll be showing off the tattoos, but then when I'm not working out, I'll be keeping my shirt on because I be losing weight way too damn fast. But I don't know, I just Yeah, I don't know the performances. I felt like G-Funk Fest, it was necessary. I had the O-Side shirt on that Andreas had blessed me with before my performance. He was like, here, you know, I like that. It was on Pro Club. It's the O-Side shirt, and I was like, all right, shit, fuck it, last song, I'm taking this one off. Like G-Funk Fest, you know, I'm not gonna say everything I was thinking, but I was like, all right, cool. I'm you know, I felt like it was right, and
that's for the Night of the Blackskin, right?
Yeah, that was for Night of the Blackskin.
And for people who don't know, man, you're half Mexican, you're half black. So when you said, man, I had that Oceanside Mexican flag.
Yeah. Going back to that, yeah, my dad's Mexican. My grandparents are from Michoacan, so yeah, I'm half and half. But yeah, Night of the Blackskin is my homie Memo's event, and then he started G-Funk Fest a while ago, and then I was blessed enough to be in the lineup. You know, due to some unfortunate circumstances, you know, the night didn't play out the way that everybody would have wanted it to. I think there was one more set after mine, and then, you know, it got shut down.
But you got to practice it?
It was cool because I got to practice a performance, you know, just actually like spitting my own verses. I'm nervous as hell. I was going to do Enemy, and then I was like, I'm not prepared for this because it's like 24 bar verses, and it was just like, I was like, bro, I'm not finna fold on stage like this. Yeah. So I put a halt to that, and then I did 3 songs. And like the other day, I just kind of stood up there just spitting my verses, you know, out loud. People probably thought I was crazy or some like smoked out person under the bridge, but I was practicing. Probably. I was like, let me figure this shit out.
I would have.
I was sitting up
there.
I
would have been like, this dude is tripping, man.
I was sitting up there smoking cigarettes. You know, hey, but the job got to get done, and ain't nobody say shit to me because they would have got beat up on a bike trail.
People would have been like,
I was sitting there smoking cigarettes.
I guarantee you, a few people drove by and they'd be like, damn, man, Oceanside.
Yeah, I packed out some people under that bridge before, but now we go.
Next week, so your album drops Friday, April 15th. April 16th, we referenced DJ Quick, but April 16th, you and DJ Quick are actually headlining. Next Saturday.
Me and DJ Quick.
And you got DJ Rack, Oceanside's own DJ Rack.
Right, yeah. People don't know that me and DJ Rack are from the same area. But he works a lot with San Diego artists, so a lot of people think he's from San Diego. But he's from Oceanside. Yeah. Fireside, to be exact.
He grew up on Los Arbolitos, and he grew up in the Timbers.
Yeah.
Timbers. What are they called now? Dylan. I was there yesterday. Yeah, I was there yesterday.
Timbers, man. Timbers was fun.
Y'all ready to get turned up or what?
But no, real quick, before we finish. How does that feel though, man? Because it's like they put you on the poster, and it's like you and DJ Quick on the same poster, bro. Like, for me, again, man, I was hella proud, bro. I saw that, and I was like, damn, that's the homie on the same poster with DJ Quick. And this is not like no little like, you know, like little bar, you know, like this is like, you know, it's being a promoter.
Yeah, no, when I went down there and they gave me the walkthrough at Cookies, of like where everything's gonna be at and all that, I was just telling them like, man, Quick's coming, like that fool better do a song and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he's gonna be in the building, you better bust something out, say something. But hopefully we can get him to do a song. But we're gonna get him to do a feature for sure.
This dude's gonna have songs ready. Yeah. Quick's gonna be in the studio.
I'm finna have some.
He's gonna be like, "Hey man, you gotta get on the 5 North anyway. Just stop by."
I'm finna like record like 4 or 5 songs and just have them like ready and tuned up, you know, and just play them. And then like he's vibing to it, and then all of a sudden it's just the beat playing because there's just no second verse, and he's like, "All right." I'm like, add the second verse.
All you gotta do is get off Oceanside Boulevard on your way back to LA. Yeah. You know.
That's why I tell all the artists when they do shows in San Diego, just slide to the studio. We're right here in the O off the 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna get him on a song.
All right, bet. Well, let's hear it, man.
Let's see. Oh wait, you want to hear some more shit from the project?
Yeah, but before we do, man, just real quick. Again, man, like I said, bro, take the time to reflect, dog. You know what I mean? That's huge. Not just you, but Andres, Daniel, you know, everyone that's worked on the project, bro. It's 2 years. This is huge, bro. I know you guys don't ever like take a break and
no celebrations.
No celebrations. Man, but still though, bro, like this is like it's a huge accomplishment, bro.
No celebrations just yet.
Y'all should
Jimmy.
be proud.
Not yet, but we're close to getting there. Maybe when the project drops, we'll smoke a cigar or something. For sure, gonna smoke a blunt. All right, man. So this one It's called Black and Mild. I can see Jimmy smoking a Black and Mild.
It's been years, man.
Do-rag on?
Do-rag on, you crazy, bro.
Freaking a do-rag, freaking a Black and Mild?
Bro, why you always wait to the end to eat?
I don't know. My bad. I didn't want everybody to watch it. I wanted them to hear Dezzy.
Started dog laughing, yeah, cold, yeah, they don't fuck with him. It's an everyday thing, bang, no, bang, nigga, no sense. Not a damn thing, don't holler. I'm a royalty, my dollars.